In this video, you'll learn the proper techniques and procedures for troubleshooting the Hunter EZ Decoder System. Tools you'll need. To troubleshoot issues effectively and efficiently with the EZ Decoder System, it's important to have some tools on hand and be familiar with their operation. A basic multimeter is a tool all irrigation technicians should have and know how to use to detect electrical issues. A clamp meter is not a necessity, but can make for more efficient work because you won't need to take apart wire connections to test key measures. A working test decoder and test solenoid that are dedicated to troubleshooting will allow you to perform simple tests that help you quickly diagnose issues. The Hunter EZ DT diagnostic tool, a convenient battery-operated diagnostic tool for quick troubleshooting and system diagnostics, can help you carry out in-field testing of Hunter EZ1 decoders. Remember that the handheld ICD HP programmer won't work on EZ1 decoders. It's meant for use with Hunter ICD decoders only. Having a Hunter Roam or Roam XL remote on hand can save you time since you'll be able to activate stations without traveling back and forth to the controller location. Typical fault scenarios. Let's look at some typical issues you may see in the field and review the steps you can take to get things working as expected. If you install a new decoder module into a controller and it doesn't work, or if the station count is incorrect, it's likely the controller was not reset after the module was installed. If you're using a Hunter PCDM decoder output module with a Hunter Pro C controller, it's important to check the date on the facepack to ensure it's 2020 or newer. Press the reset button on the back of the control panel. When the controller powers back up, it should recognize the module and the proper station count should be available. If an error message appears when you're working with the controller, check for a letter or number with ERR in the display. If a P is present, there may be an issue with the pump start relay, master valve, or wiring. If a number appears with ERR in the display, there's likely an issue with that station. In both cases, inspect and test the solenoid for a short circuit in the wiring. Use your multimeter to test resistance. A solenoid with a good reading should be in the 20 to 60 ohm range. If the reading is higher or lower than this, replace the solenoid. If you're using Hunter solenoids, you should see a resistance between 23 to 27 ohms. If the solenoid is functioning properly, but the station is still causing an error message, then the decoder may have developed a short circuit. Remove the decoder from the wire path and wire it directly into the Hunter EZDM decoder output module at the controller. Turn on the program station for that decoder. Next, test the output from the decoder by attaching the probes from your multimeter to the outputs from the decoder. A properly functioning decoder will give you a reading between 20 to 30 VAC. Another quick and easy way to determine if the decoder is operational and responding to the controller signal is to view the LED that's built into the EZ1 decoder. If the LED blinks green when activated, you'll know the station is assigned properly and the decoder is responding to the controller. If there's no activity from the LED when you turn on the station, check the decoder to ensure it's programmed correctly. If the decoder checks out, a portion of the wire path may be compromised. In this case, you'll need to use wire tracing and ground fault finding equipment to determine the location of any wiring issues. If you see a red LED on the decoder module, it could indicate a malfunctioning decoder module or an overcurrent on the two-wire path. First, look at the controller to eliminate the possibility of an issue with the decoder module. Remove the wire path or paths from the EZDM or PCDM decoder output module. Unlatch and partially remove the EZDM or PCDM module to reset it. Reinstall the EZDM or PCDM module. Start any station. If the red LED disappears, the issue is most likely in the field. To confirm this, install a functioning test decoder and solenoid at the controller. Then activate a station. If the LED on the decoder module blinks green, the controller is not the issue. You'll next want to determine if the error is a result of a wiring issue or perhaps a shorted decoder. To do this, turn on each station one at a time from the controller and observe the indicator LED on the EZ1 decoder. Let each station run for at least 10 seconds. When you find the station causing the issue, take note, then continue checking the rest in case more stations have issues. Once you've identified the affected station or stations, it's best to eliminate the solenoid and the decoder first, as those are the easiest to access. First, check the wiring splices to ensure they're sound. If both check out, you'll need to troubleshoot the wiring, locate the issue, and repair it. If you have one station that won't turn on, the most likely scenario is a problem with the solenoid, the decoder, or the wiring connections for both. First, activate the station from the controller, app, or Roam remote. Next, check the decoder in the field for a blinking LED. If the LED is blinking, you'll need to check the solenoid. If the decoder is not blinking, check the wire connections from the two-wire path to the decoder. Use the EZDT diagnostic tool to verify the station assignment. The system must be energized to perform this check. If it's programmed to the wrong station number, you'll need to disconnect the decoder and reprogram it using the EZDT or perform this function at the controller. Next, test the voltage at the connection to the decoder. The controller must be running any station to perform this check. It should read between 24 and 30 VAC. If the reading is below 20 VAC, the voltage drop is too high, or there's a cable fault. In this case, you'll need to troubleshoot the two-wire path. If you discover that multiple stations won't turn on, the most likely issue is a compromised wire path, especially if the stations are in sequence or in the same area. The first thing you want to do is find out if there's an as-built drawing that shows the wire path locations. If not, you'll need to find the wire paths using a locator device. If the stations in question are on the same wire path, there's likely an issue with that path. Even if there's only one wire path exiting the controller, there may be T-splices in the field off that path. Thus, it's important to know how the system was installed, which can be determined with an as-built drawing. If the stations are on different paths, you'll need to troubleshoot each issue individually. It may also be helpful to learn if any past construction, digging, or planting was performed on the site. If there was, and you find that it took place in an area where the wire path runs, you may be able to zero in on the problem. Let's look at an example. Let's say you notice that stations 11 through 15 and 23 through 28 are not operating. First, check the voltage at the T-splice connections to verify there is 24 VAC on the two-wire path. Check the plan to identify where the cable connects in a box. Go to that area and check the connections in the box to see if they're sound. You can also energize the two-wire path by starting one of the non-functioning stations. Then, use your voltmeter or EZDT diagnostic tool to determine if power is continuing down the path from these connections. If there's power, you may need to perform more advanced troubleshooting techniques, which we'll cover in our Electrical Troubleshooting Technician program. The EZDT diagnostic tool enables near-field communication to EZ1 decoders to provide status, station address, voltage, and current draw details for EZ Decoder systems. All diagnostic functions are completed via wireless communication between the EZDT and EZ1 decoders. To read the decoder information, follow these steps. 1. Manually activate the desired station or any decoder station to energize the two-wire path. 2. From the home screen, select Read, then position the EZDT and EZ1 decoder as shown, and press Enter. You'll hear 2 beeps, and the decoder's information will display. If the decoder reading fails, a red X will appear on the display. If the LED on the decoder is not blinking green, ensure the station is active. Check the 2-wire path and wire connections and repeat steps 1 and 2. The EZDT diagnostic tool takes some of the mystery out of 2-wire decoder systems. This powerful tool can tell you if the decoders are programmed and operating properly. It also helps to quickly pinpoint any potential issues in the decoder system. While this proprietary device works only with EZ1 decoders, it can help save time, money, and labor when troubleshooting EZ Decoder systems in the field. With the correct tools and basic knowledge about potential issues, troubleshooting an EZ Decoder system can be a quick and simple process. To learn more, visit hunterirrigation.com.